What up, people? It's Zangieff, your Russian mate from Russia, and today I would like to show you the real situation here. If we're talking about the housing, I would like to share some actual prices, some mortgage rates, and the actual income that people have nowadays. For this video, I will be using the open sources. Yeah, we will visit some Russian websites, and as well I will use some of my personal experience. But before we begin, I'd like to say that me personally and a lot of Russian people are getting hate, and I see some comments coming for this video saying that at least in Russia you have houses, people in the Ukraine don't have their houses anymore. But I'm just a regular family man here. All I can do is to show the regular life here as it is. I would very much appreciate if you do not judge me by nation, ethnicity, or whatever, because I think this is something that the whole world was waiting for many years. No racism, no this kind of stuff. So I'd really appreciate if you don't hate me just because I'm Russian. I hope it's understandable. So let's get straight down to business. To begin with, let's take a look at the salaries. And I'd like to show you the situation both in big city like Moscow and some regional city. Let's take Saratov, for example. Let's search the average salary in Saratov in 2022, and it is 37,000 rubles. Let's double check it on the Russian webpage, which is called Yandex. The same request, find, and 36,000 rubles. So overall, quite the same. Yeah, here it is, the news, 37,000 rubles. I know some people from there and they would say it's about like 30,000 something. Yeah, because some people are getting 25, some people are getting 50. So it's understandable. Somewhere in the average is 37,000 rubles. And we are talking about the monthly salary. We do not estimate salary in Russia annually, so it's monthly. If you'd like to understand how much that is in USD, let's get back to the main page of Yandex, and here we'll see that USD is right now falling. It's right now 96 rubles per USD. It used to be about 100 something for the last days, but it was never 150 because we here apply the rate that we see on the Moscow exchange, and it was never more than 120. So for simplicity, let's take 100 as the exchange rate. Yeah, you can divide all the numbers in rubles that I will be mentioning in this video by 100 and you will have the USD price. Getting back to salaries, average salary in Moscow 2022 is, well, it is set here 116,000, but I would say that's a bit too much. I would say that it is about 100,000 rubles. In some articles that we see here, 65,000, 95,000. This one is saying that the average was about 67,000. Well, it's very hard to understand the average. Let's say it's 100,000 rubles. Not bad. At this moment, you need to understand that the salaries, they don't rise right now. The employers are not increasing the salaries by the percentage of the inflation that is taking place right now. So basically, the real income, if we're talking about the USD prices or the income in rubles versus the cost of products in rubles, yeah, is decreasing. Let's go to Tsian. This is the #1 place in Russia to find property deals. And let's choose something average. As you may know, a lot of people here in Russia, they are living in cities or small towns, but anyway, they live in the apartment blocks, not the private houses of their own, yeah, but just having a flat in a big apartment block. Usually there are just 3 categories of flats in Russia with 1 room, 2 rooms, and 3 rooms. Today I'll be talking about the households, about the families where there are 2 people working and probably they have kids. So 1 room would be not enough, and by the way, right now I'm in a flat with 1 room and I have 2 kids, but still 3 rooms would be something great. Let's take 2 rooms. Here it is, 2 rooms, let's find. And let's start from Moscow. So another filter that I need is overall area. I would say that 50 square meters, aka 540 square feet, yeah, would be quite an average. So let's type 50 square meters minimum. Basically, it's going to be a flat with 2 small rooms, like about 12, 14 square meters, and a kitchen about 10 square meters, no living room, 1 toilet, something like this. And here we go, 85 million. Nah, that's the very center. Let's take a look at somewhere in the outskirts. Here, for example, let's take some random advertisements. So it is 10 million, 13 million, 14 million, 13 million, 14 million. Let's go to the west somewhere here, just randomly, 13 million, 15 million. Let's go to the north here, 13 million, 15 million, 14 million. 14 million. And you see here is the size, 52 square meters. So the advertisements that I am taking a look at, they are more than 50, but they are around 50 square meters. Yeah, this one is 53. Okay, so overall the average price, as I see it, is about 13 million rubles. It can be less if we go to the very outskirts of Moscow, beyond the Moscow Circle Road, but still. And now let's check Saratov. For this we would need to go about 500 miles to the east, and here we are. Here it is, Saratov. By the way, in front of the city of Saratov, there is a great town of Engels. I have made a big vlog about this city. If you'd like to see the regular life in the regional Russia, you can take a look at the link in the description. So let's take a look at the Saratov. We have the same filter. It's, wow, 6 million. That's quite a lot for that place. Okay, 3.5 million, 3.5. We are right now in quite a central district, I suppose, 5. Let's go to the outskirts a little bit, 3, 4, and 4. Yeah, 59 square meters. Let's use Microsoft Excel. Well, we still have it. And here are the numbers. By the way, talking about the ratio, like I'm just wondering if we divide this per this, we'll get the number of months that you have to spend your whole salary on to buy this flat. And let's take a look at Saratov, and the number is quite the same. Of course, people don't have money in cash, so I would say that for 90% of people who want to buy the apartment, the only solution is to register a mortgage. And here I can share some of my personal numbers. The average mortgage rate, like annual percentage rate in Russia in 2021 used to be about, I would say, 9%. But the thing is that our government has implemented some special programs when you could get mortgage at a lower level, or even get a lower percentage for the mortgage that you already have. This is something that happened with me, actually, because when I was taking a mortgage, I had a 9.7% annually, and since 2019 our government has implemented a special program which can make your rate 6% for all the period, basically really decreasing the amount of payment that you have to pay per month. Some banks went even further. I don't know how this works, but they even made a bigger discount. They made it to 5% annually. What do you have to do for this? 2 kids, and one of those has to be born after 2019. So we are not talking about 2 grown-up kids. My situation is that I had some kind of initial amount, yeah, so I didn't need the 100% of the price of the flat, and the amount that I had taken a loan for is 6.8 million. And by the way, very important, what is the length, what is the period of the mortgage? Usually a lot of Russian people, they take the mortgage for as long period as possible, just like myself, 30 years. So in my case, for 30 years, I would need to pay 58,000 rubles with the rate 9.7%. When I did manage to apply for this program for 5%, my monthly payment became a lot lower, just 37,000. So at this point, if you have an average Moscow salary and you have 37,000 rubles as a payment, that's about like 37-40% of your monthly income that you have to pay for the mortgage, which can sound a bit much probably for some of you, but I would say that in Russia that's reality. Not right now, but already for a long period of time. And once again, I used to have 58 for 30 years. But the question is, if the person, for example, doesn't have the initial capital and you want to buy a flat from the very beginning at 100% price, what is happening? Let's take these rates, 9.7, let it be 10. So if we're talking about the flat in Moscow, you would need to monthly pay this, multiplied by this, and divided by this, and this is 110,000 per month. Well, the average monthly salary is 100,000. Like, what the crazy. If you have 2 kids, then it will be this and like this, 70,000. Well, 70% of your salary, but this is already a discounted program, so all right, make kids. What is happening in the regions? Like in Saratov, we're applying the same formula, 34,000 rubles. And this is like basically, once again, the whole monthly income of one person. And this is the mortgage for 30 years. All right, if you have some kids, then it is 21,000, so that's about 65% of your monthly income. That is absolutely crazy. But the thing is that thankfully, nowadays the price of the flats, they don't go up much. They would definitely go up because of the materials, because of some services, logistics, blah, 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 whatever. So right now I am making the refurbishment and the apartment that I have a mortgage for. Yeah, we cannot live there yet and probably will not be able for the next several months or maybe more. But I already feel this increase in prices. When I was right now buying some cement and some plaster, the price already went up by like I don't know, 30, sometimes 50%. So definitely housing is going to be more expensive. But for example, you happen to become the member of a newly born family. You and your wife want to leave the parents' house. You want to have a flat of your own, probably a one-room flat. That'll be enough for like 6-7 years. With my wife, we were living in a one-room flat. We are still living, we have 2 kids. I have a big bed for both of us here, and there is a bed for 1 kid and there's another for the 2nd kid. But anyway, everybody's sleeping on the one bed. But still, question is, are the mortgage rates the same as they used to be? Let's take a look. Let's go to VTB, one of the biggest banks here. Let's go to mortgage, and starting from 22%, the annual mortgage rate. 22, starting from 22. So right, for example, I live in the region, yeah, and the flat is 4 million rubles, and I don't have any initial payment. Oh, by the way, they don't let you do this because the minimal amount is 10%. Well, okay, I'm taking it for 30 years, and my income is 30, like, let it be 45. Oh, there is a problem. You see this? This one is saying that you are not having a sufficient amount of income. So what should be the sufficient amount of income? 55, not yet. 65 per month, not yet. 85, 85, still not yet. Okay, 145 is all right. 115 is all right. Yeah, so about 100,000 you need to get to be able to apply for this program. And this is basically 3 times more than the average monthly salary. But yeah, by the way, a good question. If you have 2 kids, yeah, do they still have this program? Let's take a look. Here it is. Oh, they still have it. They still have it. This is the government support for families with kids, starting from 4.3. That's interesting. But standard is 5%. It is still in place. That's great. But I heard in some news that they are going to increase it. Let's take a look at the rate for this family program news, and okay, some rates are going up to 12%, blah blah blah. Family is still 6%. Okay, so they are saving this basic 6%. That is absolutely great. I think that now people will have even more motivation to have kids. Just joking, yeah, because once again, of course, you are making kids because you love your woman and your family. But still, as you may see, win-win situation. You have more property, government has more population and taxpayers. Totally understandable, and I totally appreciate it as a regular person, because this gives me some extra opportunities, which I could have not had. Before this program, which was implemented just in 2019, before that, this didn't exist. I hope that by giving this 2 examples, I did manage to show you the average situation here. Of course, definitely there can be some flats at a lower price and at a higher price there. The same thing can be said about the salaries. But overall, I would say that what I said right now really feels to me like it is correct. I think that the numbers that I just got is something that I expected from this survey. But the thing is that the main problem for a lot of people is not the increase of the flat prices or rates, because if you already have the mortgage, they will not level your rate up. It is fixed for all the period of time. The problem is different, is that you used to spend like 50% of your income for mortgage payments, and you had about 30-40% of your income to spend on food, some soap, this kind of stuff. And this is something that is right now raising a lot. In another video that I posted a week ago, yeah, we were in a grocery shop and I was showing the prices, like for the potato, 2.5 increase in price, carrots, the same stuff, some basic items. So if we're not talking about some cafes, restaurants, but we are talking about some basic vegetables, etc., because of the sanctions, because of the exchange rate, because of like everything. This is the real impact, not only for those who have not registered the mortgage yet, but for those families like mine who already have it and who didn't have much left from the monthly income. Yeah, because this was mortgage, this was taxes, this was products, and that's it, the end of your salary. And right now, hard to imagine, because we did not live in this situation for quite a while enough to really understand it. But that is something that we are going to face in the next weeks. Anyway, it was Zangieff, your Russian mate from Russia. If you enjoyed this video, please put a thumbs up to the video and leave a comment. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much once again for understanding that my goal here is just to show you the regular life of people like myself here. Thank you for watching, thank you for understanding. It was Zangieff. Stay safe, and see you next time. Bye.